Welcome to this exclusive briefing. I am Jamie Geller, the global spokesperson for Aish, and we are here on the rooftop of the iconic Dan Family Aish World Center with visionary Aish CEO Rabbi Steven Burg and newly appointed Executive Vice President Rabbi Meyer May. Welcome to the family, Rabbi May.
Great family to be part of.
I feel the same way. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Now, I know you have a 25-year plus deep, wonderful, incredible relationship. I want to delve into that. But first, the question that's on everyone's mind, Rabbi Burg, is this new position that you created for Rabbi May. What does it mean to be the Executive Vice President of Aish?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us here at Aish.
Thank you for having me. Like, who's thanking
secondly,
you?
I'm I feel very proud because I actually hired both of you. And
Yes.
So Rabbi is here to help Jamie Geller. Jamie, you have gotten us out across the world to so many millions and millions of people. And on social media, right now, I think we're the largest, most successful Jewish organization.
Yes.
And the question was next level. How do we get to the next level? How do we get the deeper dive? How do we create content that is a little bit longer than perhaps a TikTok or Instagram? And as we have been discussing that, we realized that we needed to bring people in to help us really grow and build Aish in a serious way. Rabbi May has been a friend, a mentor, a colleague, a boss, everything to me in my entire career. And after many, many years of chasing him down, I said, you got to come to Israel. I've got a great view. I've got a great staff. I've got Jamie Geller. And, I said, we need to take this to the next level.
Right.
And especially now that we're building HU, that we're creating a whole online university across the globe. Now's the time. And, thankfully, after, much begging and pleading, cajoling, Rabbi May finally, said yes to me. And I'm moved beyond words.
Yeah. We are so grateful, Rabbi May, that you're here and you've joined us. Rabbi Burg keeps saying begging and pleading a lot. Was it really like that? Or were you like, yes, right away, I'm coming to Aish?
I'm married 53 years, so I know what it means to play hard to get. So there wasn't a doubt that if I were to go anywhere outside of the Simon Wiesenthal Center, it would be with Rabbi Burg and Aish.
Wow.
And that's because Rosh Yeshiva's Hashkafa, the Aish's history of outreach to Bali Tshuva. In fact, that's how I started at ULA, at Yeshiva University of Los Angeles, and the Wiesenthal Center was to create a program that was all Kira based. And I did it too well, so that Rabbi Meyer took me into the business side of the organization. But I always wanted to be in Kiruv. I always thought I would be in Kiruv. And I figured after 47 years, when all the Rosh Yeshiva are telling me, Rabbi, it's time to give back to the Torah world.
Right.
So that I decided that it's time. 47 years after starting,
Right.
that I would like to be in the Torah world and a partner with Rabbi Burg.
Wow. And you referenced an almost 50-year illustrious career, at the Simon Wiesenthal Center. You don't want to just sort of go out on a high? I mean, why this next chapter?
As I told the group when we had the town hall the first day, it was Parshas Lech Lecha.
Wow.
When I just, when I came, and I said, Lech Lecha means that you have to go, Abraham, leave your comfort, leave your well-known, your Terach son, and go to Eretz Yisrael, a place that there was famine in the land. And also, so I knew I did the right thing. But then when I was thinking on Shabbat whether I did the right thing, and I looking back and I said, Lot's wife looked back and it didn't happen well for her.
Right.
So it's not about me on a high, me on a low. It's never about me. It shouldn't be about me. It's about what we did at the Wiesenthal Center. We did good work. I've been thanked for it. I received most gracious and not beautiful comments from friends and lay leaders when I informed them that I was leaving. But I do believe that there's something even more important for me to be involved in, and I have Li'ayin Hara, the Kadosh Baruch Hu gives me the strength. Hopefully, he'll give me the wisdom to be able to be a value add to the Aish. I mean, everything here is remarkable. I'm here now in Israel twice in the last 3 weeks. I've seen the team. I've seen how everybody rose in the same direction. I see how inspired everyone is, and dedicated everyone is, and it's something which is rather refreshing. There's no one tired, no one thinking that it's same old. There's new challenges all the time, and the Rebbes and the Talmidim, the way they describe Aish, the way they look at Aish, the way they feel about being an Aish, One kid said, I looked around to where I would go for my gap year. He said, I spoke to 3 yeshivot. As soon as I spoke to the Aish alumni,
Yes.
I said, this is made for me.
Yeah.
Another kid said, I saw the light in the eyes of my friends when they came back to Toronto.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, I'm here at a place that's not tired. The building's a little tired. We'll get to that another time. But a place that's not tired, that's forward thinking, creative and innovative. Yeah. And to work with Steve is something which is a pleasure for me personally, and something I welcome all along. He didn't have to beg me so hard. It's the only question was
that was just dramatic.
Only was the question of timing for Wiesenthal, because I had a view that I didn't want to leave the Wiesenthal Center in a lurch.
Right.
I wanted to leave the Wiesenthal Center when I was sure that I was on firm footing after Rabbi Meyer's retirement.
Well, after raising almost $2 billion, though, during your tenure, that's the lurch.
The truth of the matter is that who can replace people at that level? It's very hard to have to replace a person who is a rainmaker, and in order to do that, I wanted to make sure that the Wiesenthal Center was positioned well, so that when I did step aside, I would not make Chil Hashem and be hurt in an institution, which is my first love.
All right, of course. Rabbi Burg, almost 25 years, I think you go back with Rabbi May. You spoke about him being a mentor, a boss, a friend, an advisor. Tell us your first interaction as a young communal leader close to the Los Angeles area.
Yeah, I went out there for NCSY, Toronto region. I was, I think, 28 maybe at the time. I was young. I had absolutely no clue what I was doing. I took over a region that hadn't really had a regional director before. And I was just trying to find my way. And then the Wiesenthal Center was doing a mission to Washington. And I was a young guy, and I had befriended one of the people, and they said, why don't you come? And I came, and I met Rabbi May there, and we got very friendly. And I watched kind of like how he dealt with a very high level, incredible, passionate Jewish leaders. And I said, can we follow up? And we went to many, many, many lunches together where I would come in with my questions. Yeah. But the story I always tell, and I think this is the most powerful story, was we talked a lot of how we don't always get thanked when we do Jewish communal work. And then one time I had ran a large Shabbaton, and Rabbi May, it was Monday, next day I was exhausted. He said, let's go out to lunch. And I had always called him for lunch. He called me. And so I said, no problem. I ran home to put my suit on because I wasn't wearing my suit that day.
Now you wear it every single day.
We go to lunch, and I'm like, what's going on here? And he's like, well, what do you mean? I just want to say thank you on behalf of the Jewish people. And he took me to lunch to thank me. And I was like, this is my guy. Right. This is my guy who understands the importance of valuing every person and saying thank you to people, and has the passion and drive to do great things for the Jewish people.
Now, I don't want to make Rabbi May blush. I don't know if you've heard, but Rabbi Burg describes you as royalty. What do you mean when you say that? And why were you so excited? And why was Rabbi May the person to bring here and even create a position for him as the executive vice president?
Look, I've been in this game a long time. I don't mean to call it a game, but in terms of the Jewish community, there's so many facets. We're really all over the place. And then, you meet certain people along your career who have a certain amount of integrity, the way they carry themselves, the way they speak to every person. I know Rabbi May, and I don't mind saying this, that literally when he's talking to a hotel clerk or he's talking to a billionaire, he has the same derech eretz and the same kindness and approach to them. And so therefore, you'll call it royalty, call it whatever you want, but it's really just someone who people lead. Yeah. They almost don't have to say anything. They're automatic leaders. People understand this is someone with integrity who understands how to get close to God, who understands his priorities in life, is someone who can defer to rabbis of greater knowledge, to so many different aspects. Right. So for me, that's someone that's played a special role in my life. And what I've been thrilled about in the last 3 weeks, we've been here together twice, is that I think the staff and our partners and donors and all the different people around are getting that sense and are extremely excited to have someone like Rabbi May to take us to the next level.
Right. I see a beautiful partnership, obviously, between the two rabbis. Obviously, it's 25 years shared history, but also in terms of moving forward and looking forward to the future. So how do you see yourselves working together here on behalf of the organization and the Jewish people?
Well, I'm just going to do whatever he tells me.
Yeah.
Because for the last 5 years, I've done whatever Jamie tells me.
That's just
So
because the
now
cameras are rolling.
you
No
know,
one believes that.
I always tell people I hire extraordinarily talented, smart people, and I stay out of their way and I listen to what they have to say, and it works really well. So that's me. I'm out. So Rabbi May, you can.
and my way has always been, I've always told staff that that if I don't give you an answer in 24 hours, follow your instinct. That is, unless your instinct is different than my instinct.
I'm
So
learning real like lessons and rules for the game here.
Right.
Yes.
Listen, I know Steve for so long. We've worked together in the past. By the way, he's talking about me in the last 3 weeks. I've been watching him as a CEO in the last 3 weeks, and I've admired how he's taking control of things, firmly when needed, gently when needed, and his mixture of good humor and clarity, which I think is very important for staff, is outstanding. I envision us traveling together a lot.
Yes.
I traveled with Rabbi Meyer for 45 years. He was in 7A and I was in 7B until he decided he wanted to be at the aisle.
What are your preferred seats on the planes now?
I always take an aisle seat.
Yeah, and Rabbi?
No comment.
Okay. Two aisles next to each other. Yeah, exactly. That works.
Yeah, so I always take the aisle, but usually it's one row. So you know, I'm used to traveling with a yin and a yang together.
Yes.
The two of us, his leadership over the years, his knowledge of the institution, his passion for the institution, and my ability to actually pull the trigger and ask someone for money and to present the case and see if I can find why Aish would inspire the donor.
Right.
I think that's great. And I also think that the title includes actually more than just fundraising. Everybody wants me for fundraising.
That's what we want to know. Tell us the real story here. Everything that you'll be doing.
I look at the job description. It's like when I started at the Wiesenthal Center, I had 5 titles, and the 6th title was other. so I feel that way a little bit here.
And more.
Yes, I feel a little bit away here. Right now, I'm getting my arms around the development team. That's really what my top focus has to be. But we're going to look at communications. We're going to look at the whole institution, see what experience I can bring to excellence, to the partnership, to professionalism. I think the VOD wants me to do that. That's what came out in many of my conversations with them. And I hope to be able to be, as I said, a value add to what Rabbi Burg is doing. To me, I've been watching Rabbi Burg for 10 years.
Yeah. There's the Yiddish term shepping nachas.
I've been shepping nachas, but also I'm saying, how did I let the guy get away?
I like that.
So but I've been watching his career and with pride. I remember him doing his first interviews, a little awkward, the first few interviews. And now he's so good. Rabbi Meyer, who's Rabbi Meyer? You got Steve Burg, it's like, so I've watched him grow into the position. I've watched him succeed in the position. I've watched him act in the position. And I think that there's a great synergy between the two of us.
Yes.
And I expect to exploit that synergy for the betterment of Aish. We both want to do the right thing for Aish, to advance the mission, Rav Noach's mission, and the magnificent vision of Aish, the Rashiva's vision, to all of Am Yisrael. That's standing right here, a place where
this is the place
where every Jew comes, every Jew should be coming, and we want to be the place that every Jew comes to as well.
Yes.
Amen.
So, Rabbi Burg, I introduced you as the visionary CEO. You've been here 10 years. You just celebrated a milestone. Aish is just about 50 years old as a movement. When I joined, I'll actually start a little bit back. 10 years ago, you've been very honest about it. You joined an organization that was bankrupt. You joined an organization that was floundering, having lost its leader, Rabbi Noah Weinberg, Rav Noach Zatzal, and you turned the entire place around. By the time I came 5 years ago, you set a goal. Some said ambitious, some said crazy, some said aspirational, to reach 3 million Jews. And then having by 2030, Aish Vision 2030, we were meant to engage 3 million Jews with Jewish wisdom. Well, we did that in about 3-4 years. When I came to Aish, we averaged about 2 million video views a year. After October 7th, we were actually averaging 2 million video views a day.
Right.
We have 4 million followers on social media engaging with Jewish wisdom.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, not enough. Now we're going for every single Jew, which is really the original vision of Rav Noach. So talk a little bit about what the next 5 years at Aish is going to look like in your vision.
Sure. First of all, thank you, because you were the reason we were able to get to that number so quickly. And I think originally when we set that goal of 3 million, first of all, people thought we were out of our minds.
Correct.
And we chose it because it was 20% of world Jewish population.
Yes.
So there we thought that was doable. We surpassed that. Our goal now is every single Jew, but it's changed in two ways. Number one is we're expanding it. We want every single Jew. 70% of the Jewish population in North America is not connected in any way, shape, or form to their Judaism. We aim to change all of that. That's firstly, more importantly. But I think the other thing that's changed is, we went out and we went to Instagram and to TikTok and all these things, and we tried to get Jews 30 seconds, 60 seconds. We're not asking a lot. Can you just see a little bit of your Jewish wisdom? And we saw we had massive success. And so therefore, I think it's great, but I'm not going to fool myself and say 30% is really going to change someone fundamentally.
Right.
So therefore we said, well, why can't we just be a university online? You know, all the universities are going online around the globe. And so therefore we brought in a president, Rabbi Daniel Rowe, to be the president of that university. We brought in a dean, Dr. Akiva Kovitz, who was at Harvard Law School, was at MIT. And now we're going to go into a much deeper dive. So we're numbers wise, we're trying to expand to get every Jew and deeper. But the deeper is really, really important, because the more a Jew understands, we've watched since October 7th, so many young Jews who have protested Israel, gone against their people because they don't know their story. And we must tell them their story. And the way to tell them their story is for them to understand their traditions. And so that's what we're out to do. And I can't do that without my partner, Rabbi May, in terms of helping us think strategically how to get there.
Does this vision at all scare you, Rabbi May, when we talk about every single Jew and we thinking that big here at Aish?
Why should we go for less? Why should we settle for less?
I love that. That's why you're here, Rabbi.
Well, Rabbi Meyer in his book, Meant to Be, referenced me as a strategic thinker. This is a strategic place. And I couldn't think of a better place to be than we're a place that has strategic thinking, that wants to have bold aspirations, tremendous aspirations, and are not settling for just anything. One thing I did say to Rabbi Burg early on is that I want content. Content.
Content is king. That's how we say in the industry.
Well, in my business, cash is king.
Right. Well, we come from two different sides. We'll complement each other.
I'll take both.
I'll take pledges too. But content is important. It's good to look at the website. And Aish.com did tremendous. I look at the website and there is Torah content on Aish.com every day. But I think it has to be clear and easily accessible. Plus, it has to be outstanding. It can't be anything.
I love your bar for excellence, Rabbi May. I think that's some of the things that attract us to wanting to work with you and excited to work with you, because everything you play at the outstanding level.
If we want to impress, why should someone come to Aish and see, well, the building's not kept up, or see anything about the facility that doesn't bespeak excellence. It can't be, even when I teach fundraising, I tell people that their tie is askew. Why would I give you money? You can't even look right. So the same is true with all that is here. We want to be excellent. We want to be breathtaking. And I think that we have the opportunity. We certainly have lay leaders who are in the audience that would want to participate and would want to shoulder the burden with us. And we're excited about the opportunity.
Okay, so my last question is just kind of the big issues that are facing world Jewry today. Some might say that it's anti-Semitism. And instead, you've come here to focus on Jewish wisdom and Torah. Rabbi Burg, what do you say are the biggest issues facing the Jewish people, and how is Aish addressing them?
Well, clearly, we live in a different world post October 7th. And frankly, that's still playing out in terms of how that's changed our community fundamentally. We're seeing a lot of things. I think my approach is a little different because I'm seeing the anti-Semitism. I think everyone's seeing it. And I think there's a lot of fear in the streets in terms of the Jewish community. But the way I look at it is if we can activate the majority of Jews that are not connected and bring them in as our brothers and sisters and show them how much we love them and we have to work at this together, we're going to be stronger. So on the one hand, we have to defend the Jewish people online. No one knows it better than us what's going on online. But part of the way you do that is you make yourself stronger. And so Aish, I believe on the end of making the Jewish people and young Jews especially strong, love God, love the religion, be proud of Israel. And then we're going to be able to handle the challenges in a much more fundamental way.
Right. Thoughts, Rabbi?
I actually want to partner with the anti-Semites.
By the way, they've drawn many more Jews closer to the fold.
Right. I think there's a synergy with us. They want to destroy Jews, and I want to make Jews.
Right.
So, in other words, I want them to have more Jews to have to hate.
Right.
And I want to make sure there are Jews that are committed to Judaism, that are knowledgeable about Judaism. And you want to bring it on. Bring it on, boys. Bring it on. Bring it on.
I love it.
With more of us, take us on. Do the best you can. But guess what? I'm Yisrael Chai. Netzach Yisrael Lo Yishakir. We're going to be here far beyond you. We've outlived everyone else. We're going to outlive everyone to this day. You can try your best, but you ain't going to beat us.
Amen, Rabbi. Amen. I like it. And I lied. I have one more question. I just have to while I'm here and I have you. The diversity of Aish. It's incredible. We work in English, Spanish, and Hebrew. We work with the completely unaffiliated, those that don't even know the Hebrew alphabet, or those that are even in a Hester yeshiva that are learning Torah and going to the army and serving everything in between and around. Speak a little bit about why that's so critical, because we do a lot. And sometimes people are like, Aish does so much. Like, who are the different demographics that we touch and why so broad?
Look, our number one demographic are unaffiliated Jews. I mean, the number one target we have is the largest Jewish population in the world, which are Jews that are not connected. So that is everything that we have really goes. But you need an army. We're a movement. We need everyone to be together to be focused. I think that, the rabbi talked about Aish being strategic. I think us utilizing technology has been huge because with AI today, artificial intelligence, we are now, first of all, if you go to aish.com, there's an AI rabbi. That you can ask every question to. We're basically using AI to put our Torah into different languages, to be able to reach out to people, to create this HU. So, I think that our understanding.
We used it for the matchmaking event that we had. And we actually have marriages that have come from that.
Correct. Absolutely. And that is the greatest thing that we could ever have.
We always say Jewish families.
Jewish families. And that's what it's based on. So, I think that, Aish, the leadership of Aish has to be across the board eclectic. It has to be widely encompassing. We ran a slate for the World Zionist Congress. I don't think there's another institution like ours that did that. We had 5 seats. We were working with them. We work with anyone. We work with anyone and everyone. Jew. Correct. Exactly. And we said, no one believed us. I wrote an op-ed that immediately following elections, we would meet with every group from left to right. And guess what? We met with every group from left to right. And do I agree with everything that everyone says out there? No. Do I love them all? Absolutely, because I love every Jew. And that's one of our strongest values is love. So we're building this institution, this organization based on love. We're empowering Jewish leaders to go out there to get the rest of our Jewish brothers and sisters to rejoin the Jewish nation.
Beautiful. And Rabbi May, did that diversity and that sort of Y10 approach scare you or entice you? And I know the answer is I don't think you're scared of anything, but.
No, I'm scared of not having a broad vision. That's what I'm scared about. But like the fact that this is the broadest population of Jews, it's in my will base. It's a superpower of mine to be concerned about it. And I would say I'm schooled in a school essentially by Rabbi Meyer to understand that. In the yeshiva world, you don't get that. Even though I learned by the Rav, Soloveitchik, and Rav Hershel Schachter at YU, there's a certain myopic vision of the world. And Rabbi Meyer taught me to respect every Jew and every leader. We had some very wealthy Jews. One time they said to me, Rabbi, if I don't put on tefillin, am I going to heaven? I said, well, as far as I'm concerned, you're the Rosh Yeshiva of Tzedakah. There's a Rosh Yeshiva of learning, there's a Rosh Yeshiva of Tzedakah. I'm not so sure that I'm prepared to say where you're going to go and where I'm going to go in the Olam HaEmes. But the truth of the matter is that we have to reach every Jew. we should settle for nothing less. And we will judge ourselves by our outreach, by our success, and by the depth of what we produce, and the inspiration that we provide.
Yeah. So we didn't spell it out like this, but we did touch in this conversation on 3 Aish core pillars, which are wisdom, love, and responsibility. So we definitely got those in. I want to say Mazel Tov on behalf of all of us at Aish. I love have the opportunity to share this warm message, and from all of our partners in the entire Aish movement. Welcome to the family, Rabbi. Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. We're so honored and happy to have you, and we can't wait to see what's to come.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you both.